Okay, so my husband and I and his sister and brother-in-law, all four of us went to Ouray and did the Via Ferrata a couple days ago. I am not a rock climber, but I heard that this is a fun thing to do, and so we decided to go and try it. So the first day that we went, we rented equipment, and we went to the location, and we did the downhill Via Ferrata, which is the beginner, the easier route. And considering that I'm not a climber, it wasn't as hard as I thought. It was really fun and enjoyable and not too strenuous. There were some challenging parts, but it wasn't too scary or anything. Now, I'm not super afraid of heights, and it didn't scare me because my gear is attached to the cables that are attached to the mountain at all times. So even if I did slip, I wouldn't fall very far, and it was, to me, seemed very, very safe. Then the next day, we did the more advanced route, which went up the canyon instead of down. And that one was, in my opinion, it was way more difficult. It had much more advanced climbs. You were hanging off sheer cliffs much more. It was more strenuous, and you were using the rock more than the footholds. There were still lots of footholds, but it was much more challenging. But with that being said, I just turned 40 this year. I am in average shape. I'm not super, super fit, but I was able to do it without much problem. It was definitely challenging, and there were points where I was like, wow, this is kind of scary and this is really hard. And you were definitely focusing the whole time, but I was able to do it. So to anyone interested or thinking about doing the Via Ferrata, I say go for it. It's super fun, and it was a great accomplishment, and we had a lot of fun doing it. So this video is just showing us doing the beginner, the downhill route, which wasn't as challenging, and I didn't take much video of doing the uphill, up the canyon route because I was focusing so much and I couldn't stop to take videos. So this is just mainly of the downhill. I also wanted to mention that there are some places in downtown Ouray that will offer you a guide, and you can pay like $165 for a guide to come and take you through the route. But the route is self-explanatory. You really don't need a guide. You can't get lost on the Via Ferrata. Like, it's very easy to figure out where you're supposed to go. We didn't have a guide. We'd never done it before, and it was fine. There's also 2 bailout points on the downhill. So if you get scared and you're like, this is not for me, you can bail out on 2 different spots on the downhill. And then on the uphill one, there's 1 bailout point. So if you're like, this is way too hard for me, for whatever reason, you can bail out halfway through the uphill one as well. They also mentioned that you have to weigh at least 88 pounds for the gear that you're using to be able to do the Via Ferrata. So if you have some kids who want to try it with you, they have to weigh at least 88 pounds. Here's a map of the downhill route, and here's also the equipment that you need to use for the route. And here's a sign on your way to the Via Ferrata, and here we are about ready to start. All right, this is the end of the downhill Via Ferrata, so we're gonna try it out ourselves. Here's the Via Ferrata. I'm gonna go check in at the ranger station.
Oh yeah, the lobster course.
All right, Trish is doing the sky bridge right now.
I bet you that's what it's for, that rope. So you jump in.
All right, so we got our harness on here, and then we have, what are these called, hun? Lanyards?
Yeah, lanyards.
And there are 2 are hooked onto the cable at all times. And we have gloves, keep our hands, and then got a helmet, and we're good. So you're connected the entire time. So you just go along and it just connects all the way. You are never unhooked from the mountain the entire time. All the way up. There's Trish down there. Say hi, Trish. All right, we're in a steep part. There's Ray.
Here, hon, I'll get you a picture.
All right, we're about halfway through the Via Ferrata. So we're gonna go down that way next. We started through that canyon. And there's Trish. Woohoo! We're going around that edge now. It's a long ways down.
Can you get a picture of it?
Here's one of the early exit bailout points. We're 3/4 of the way, almost in. There's the bridge. We're almost done. We've come a long ways. Okay, this is the sky climb. This is definitely a more technical section. Or if you want to do the easier way out, you can do the ladder, which is what I'm going to do. Woo! Oh crap, I gotta switch, never mind. I know. Up there, she took the high road. I took the low road and they're gonna come down this way. So with this equipment that you rent, my husband had some other type of belay material, but they won't let you use it. You have to have this approved gear, and so they rent it out at a couple places downtown Ouray, and you have to have the helmet and the approved harness, and you can buy them online or you can rent them. This was $45 to rent all this equipment. Well worth it since the Via Ferrata is free. So what'd you think, hun?
Good.
Pretty fun, huh? We've reached the end. Beautiful view. You survived to climb another day. Woo, we did it! Nice! Woohoo! Here's some pictures of the uphill route. There's the ladder you climb at the beginning, and it's much steeper and much more technical, but also much more rewarding. It was super fun to do both routes, although if I were to do it again, I probably would only do the downhill route again, but it was way fun.